What's going on, y'all? This is John with Nap Daddy Racing, back with another tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about patterns and how to use them, specifically some of the newer release patterns that you can find on our website right up top. But before we go any further, I want to give a shout out to Engine 4 Coffee for sponsoring this video. Engine 4 Coffee is firefighter owned and operated. Go check them out at engine4coffee.com. Let them know we sent you. But let's get right into it. So for this tutorial specifically, we're talking about a topography pattern that is on our website. This one is a little bit more confusing, a little bit more involved than some of the other patterns, so I want to try to get this video out first. Once you get this file, it should come with a bunch of different little folders here and everything. It should come with directions that will automatically be up. You can just close those down since you're already here at the YouTube video, and I'm going to show you how to use it. With this pattern, it is going to come with a topography or a topo thick and a topo thin line. The thick one will be this big one here, and then the thin one will be this one here. And this allows you to change the size and the color of each one. So we can change this dark line or this yellow line to any color we want to, or this white line to any color. If you scroll down to the bottom over here, you're going to find these orange tabs. These are just for background colors, so you can see how your pattern would look against different colors. There's no need to even use those or duplicate those over. This is just for viewing while you're inside this file. And for the car that we are going to be using, we're going to be using the next gen Camaro to put this pattern on. And I can see it on your bottom left side of your screen. I've got the live time update of the car itself, so you can see what happens when we apply this pattern. So a little bit more about this too. As you're coming through here, you'll see this yellow box here and this white box here, topo thick fill and topo thin fill. You can double click on this little arrow icon underneath the color, and this allows you to change the color of the top line or the thick line to anything you want to. And then you can change the thin line as well to anything. So this pattern does have full customization built into it. We're gonna leave that white for now. If you go to the topo thick and topo thin, you can also change the size of it and even the angle. The trick with this pattern is, though, this is the caveat to this pattern, is that you have to change both of these equally. So if I change the topo thick to a scale of 30%, I need to come in here and change the topo thin to 30%. And that looks kind of jumbled up on your screen probably, but it evens out when we zoom in. But for now, I'm just going to leave these at 50% on both the thick and the thin. So it looks kind of like this. I'm also going to mention that we are also using the next gen Camaro number 11 template that is on our website right now that you can check out if you want for yourself. I'm using this one just because it has a bunch of different colors that we can work this pattern in just a little bit better. So to put this pattern on the car where it says duplicate all this, you're going to find topography pattern, right click, go to duplicate group, and then we're going to select the car we want it to go to. And this should apply it pretty much across the car here. And if it's not, if it's somewhere weird, make sure that your folder is above the layer you want it. So let's just say that we want this topography pattern just in this black area. So I would take this pattern and drag it down and just place it over top of the black area there, which is called base for this pattern here, or this template. And then using my hotkey will automatically update it. I do have a video on how to make or set up hotkeys, and you should have a nice little pattern there just on the black. And again, if we wanted to change that, we'll come back over here to Photoshop and double click on topo thick where that arrow is. And I think maybe a good 32% would be okay with this. And we'll change the thin to 32%. And then hit my hotkey. And there it is, updated. Looks really good there actually. So let's just say that you wanted this topography pattern just on top of this one like green color right here, kind of in between this darker green and this lighter green. I guess that's kind of a blue, a pain gray, I think is what it's called. We're going to put it on this Brunswick green layer here. So what I'm going to do is take this topography pattern and put it over top of the layer that I want it to go to. Open it up. I'm actually going to unlink both of this topo thin and topo thick, and backspace on both of those. Just click that white icon and then hit delete. Now I'm gonna select my topo thick. I'm gonna hit Control and click Brunswick green. and that should put these marching ants around it. And then I'm going to hit this little button here, which is supposed to be your mask button or layer mask button, and that will put it just in that layer. Now we got to do the same thing for topo thick. Select that box there, control click on Brunswick green, or the layer that we want it to go to, and then hit the layer mask button again. And just like that, it is only on that one layer that we have it there. And just for practice, you could try putting it on this white layer here if you wanted to, or not even this white. Let's put it on this Carolina blue, powder blue layer. I'm from North Carolina, so Carolina blue is a color to me. I'm just going to drag that same one up. What I'm going to do, redo that. I'm going to hit Alt and then click on this topography pattern, and this duplicates it. Drag it up and then release your mouse first, and that should drop a duplicate layer right over top of this powder blue. Problem is, it's not showing up because it's still under that mask layer. So we'll just do the same thing. Get rid of this mask layer, get rid of that mask layer, and I'm gonna click this here, topo thick, and then control click on powder blue, mask it, and then I'm gonna click on this topo thin, control thick, or control click on powder blue and mask it for topo thin, and we have it there. And see, now we have two different topographies here, but this color doesn't really blend very well, which is the beauty in this whole pattern here, is that you can actually just, for this side only, we can change this white color if we wanted to something darker, or maybe even click on that same color, darken that up, and let's darken this up a little bit. Maybe go to this color here. And now we have a topo pattern just on two sections of the car. Now, I kind of pondered putting this next section up here. I'm not really sure if it's necessary or not, but I know some people will want it, and I know it might matter to some people. So I'm going to tell you how to spec map just certain parts of this, because you can't, it's really hard to spec map just this topo thick and topo thin. So if we scroll in here, and let me just forewarn you too, this is a little bit more advanced for this topography pattern, just kind of give you an idea of how diverse it can be and what you can do with it. So let's go back to this Brunswick green here, and I've just zoomed in a lot here. You can zoom in pretty quickly using Alt and your scroll wheel. Let's say that we want to make this green line right here a chrome, and we'll make this like a matte, the white a matte. So what you have to do this, and remember, once you do this step, you cannot go back and edit the size of your topography lines. You're gonna right click, go to convert to smart objects for the topo thick, and we're gonna do the same thing. Right click on topo thin, convert to smart object. Now we're going to select this topo thick line here. I'm actually gonna hit not the Windows button, but I'm actually going to hit Control and click on this topo thick, and it should outline the whole thing. And then come up here to the top where our spec map is. I'm gonna add a new layer, get my paint bucket out, make sure it's on black, and just while I have this new layer that I just made, I'm just gonna click in here, and it's gonna paint that all out for me. Come back down here to the bottom, we're gonna select this topo thin line, and then I'm going to come up back to the top. I should probably label these, but we're gonna come back to the top, make a new layer, and paint inside that topo thin line. And again, to do that, to get the marching ants around it, I just control and click on topo thin. And to get rid of these marching ants, you hit Control D to deselect. So we'll say this is thin, this is thick. Now that I have both of these up under the red channel, I'm going to highlight both of them by holding Shift and clicking on them, and then using my Alt key and click, I'm going to drag to make a duplicate copy down here in the green channel. I forgot what I said. We're going to make the white. Let's just say we're going to make it matte. So I know matte is going to be 0% on the red, and I probably show that better. When I say 0%, I mean this little B right here needs to be at 0. I always set these to 0, and I put this one at 0 here. And then for the thick, we want it to be chrome. So I'm going to double click on my thick. It's going to pull up this window here, color overlay, And we're going to change this B value to 100. So the higher up you go on the red, the shinier it is. 100 is going to be very shiny chrome. Down at the bottom is going to be more like a gloss. Then coming out here to the thin, we said we want a matte. For this one, the higher up you go, the more rough it's going to look. We want to be right at 50 for matte for the thin. Double click on thick. We want this to be 0, so we want it to be very chrome. And now when I hit my hotkey, which again is in another video, it should update, and now you have a chrome green layer with a matte white layer. And again, as much as I love eye racing, the paint booth does not do it justice, but you can kind of see that shine there as I turn it. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it on how to do this. Try to get some practice in if you can. If you have any other questions, make sure that you reach out to us and let us know at our email, or you can drop a comment here and we'll try to respond here underneath the comments as well. Make sure you join our Discord server. I think the link is in the bio for our YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.